I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jen.
And we are the Sacred Text, a Star Wars podcast.
We're discussing all kinds of print media from a galaxy far, far away, reviewing canon comics and books, and talking to authors, artists, and other Star Wars nerds.
So strap yourselves in as we make the jump to light speed. Punch it, Jen. Hello.
Yay!
Welcome. We're here for Valiant Vow Part 1.
I'm pretty excited about this.
This is already such a really cute book. I am so excited to talk about this one.
Yeah, and we've bounced around. We did comics for a bit, we did young adult, and now we're doing middle grade novel.
It's just so fun, and it's just a nice little relaxing jaunt into the Star Wars universe.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty excited for us to talk about this. Before we get into it, number one, I have to show you my mug today.
What's your mug? Yay!
In honor of the resurrection.
I love it. That is so perfect.
Number two, Star Wars things. Do we have,
Yes.
I mean, you, based on what you're wearing, I feel like you should say
peeking.
why. Besides the fact that it's a really cool sweatshirt. Why are you wearing that?
Thank you. I'm wearing this because in a week, we are going to get the new Darth Maul series, which is Shadow Lord, coming out Monday, April 6th. Yay.
My gosh, the hype is high.
It's so high. Although I think when we post this episode, it'll be past that point. So, yes.
By the time you hear this, we'll have all experienced the first 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been a minute, and the internet always explodes when new Star Wars stuff comes out, and it's fun. And it makes it fun to be a part of a community that's talking about how excited you are. So I can't wait.
Especially with animation, too. I feel like all the animation series just have a different tone to them than the other Star Wars series. And especially Darth Maul and having Sam Witwer back as the voice for that character. I think it's going to be a fun time all around.
And the trailer was giving horror a little bit.
Ooh, yeah, cool. Because Darth Maul flung his saber and chopped a bunch of troopers in half. Was that the horror vibe you were getting?
Yes, I like that they went that route instead of let's show Maul maybe redeeming himself. I don't know. I don't think that's going to be the vibe, guys.
I really don't think so either.
And I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see just evil Maul, but turning the evil against
Prime
the
Maul.
Empire.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The chaotic version. Up
Nothing
to no
better
good.
than a little revenge, right?
Yes.
He's going on a revenge tour, and I love that for him. So
I do too. Any thoughts on the new character?
I am excited.
I don't have high hopes that this character is going to end this story in a light-sided manner.
Super, super true. Everybody obviously was like, oh my gosh, it's Darth Talon or whatever when everything first came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is sort of the replacement for that character, and that it's maybe not so much of the male gaze version of Darth Talon, which personally I appreciate. Not everyone appreciates that, and that's okay. No shade if that's a character you like super love. But I'm excited that this may be the bringing legends into canon version of that character, because that's just not a character I really enjoy the legends version of, and this might be one that I do. And so I kind of hope that's what they were doing with that, but who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? Yeah,
it's really hard to tell what direction they're going to go with that in mind. Also, I guess along that train of thought, her lightsaber is going to be released soon, actually the same day, April 6th.
Yep.
So I keep toying around the idea of getting that one or not. I probably won't because funds and all that, but it does look so cool. Oh, I know. Good life choices. I can't have a million years of credit card debt.
That's such a good segue, though, into why we're in so much debt, which is that we just went to WonderCon.
Yes, we did.
And we're not going to talk a lot about it on this episode because Rachel had the great idea for us to talk about the WonderCon experience and everything that happened there. And yeah, so we'll do all of the details in another episode, but we did spend some of our money at WonderCon this weekend, so maybe no lightsabers for a minute.
Yeah, for real.
Any other Star Wars?
That's
stuff?
It for me.
We want to go right into Valiant Vow. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's
Who
do
is
it.
this written by?
Oh, this is Justina Ireland. Here we go.
Yeah.
Wonderful cover. We love Justina. I believe that Justina is no longer writing for Lucasfilm, but she is still writing. And I highly encourage you to check out both her Star Wars work and her not Star Wars work and see what you think, because she's a really talented writer. So
yeah, she really is.
Yeah.
Great. So hopefully we will be talking about the prologue through chapter 13. We've got this.
I think so.
Yeah.
There is an intro scroll. It was really similar to the one we've seen a couple times. Should we read this or not?
If you want to read it, you're more than welcome to. Other than that, I'm just like,
I don't know if you guys knew, but there's a confrontation with a Nihil happening, and there's a Blight, and there's Nameless. And the Jedi are having a rough time. There's the scroll. That was my shortened version.
Exactly. Yes. The Nihil are nihiling, and the Nameless.
The Blight is blighting?
Yes, the Blight is blighting. The Nameless are namelessing. And the Jedi are kind of failing at handling all of the above.
Yep. Mm-hmm. There you go. There's your summary.
Yeah.
So
they are trying their best, though. That's all that matters.
That's A+ for effort, Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was excited to see we had a prologue.
Me too.
But then it's also kind of sad, right? Because
I know. All right, you want to say it?
We're back on Starlight Beacon.
I know. I had to do a double take when I read this.
Same. We've tried to let Starlight Beacon go because that was so traumatic when that was lost, and yet here we are again.
Remember at the beginning of Phase 3 and we had to relive that trauma and all the different media over and over again? I was just like having war flashbacks myself.
I know, we've had a nice long break for having to remember that happened, and now here we are again. And we're with Imri Gantaros, who was with Vernestra Rowe. I guess she was his new master at this point, right? Mm-hmm. And he's really frustrated. And why is he frustrated?
Apparently, Vernestra is asking him to levitate a leaf, which he can do. He's very competent in that regards. But what he is not so competent in is holding that leaf in place. Yep. And he's very frustrated. He can't do this, and he doesn't understand why he needs to do this. And Vernestra goes on to explain, which made me start to cry, is that her master, Stellan, said it's important to focus on the small things because the small things have big impacts later on. Mm-hmm.
I also like that she pointed out that Jedi all play different roles and have different ways of serving the Force. She's trying to meet him in the middle here. You do need to learn this skill, you do, but don't feel like you're forever going to be required to do things you don't get. Eventually, as you become a knight and become a master, eventually, you're going to be able to branch off and work with the Force in a way that works for you. Mm-hmm. But for now, you're training, and that means you have to do a bunch of Force stuff that you don't care about.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I especially love that Imri is like, okay, and he tries it again and like takes him many, many times. But eventually he does figure out how to levitate this leaf in one place. And while it was very frustrating and it did take him forever, the important thing was that he tried.
Yeah.
So here we are. Jedi are trying. A+ for effort. I like how I snuck that in there.
I love it. There we go. It all connects.
Yes.
So yeah, that takes us into chapter 1. And we're in current times, right? Mm-hmm. We're on Aricho. So that is where Imri is now teaching younglings as a Jedi Knight. Because it's been a minute since we've been with Imri. But towards the end of the last story that we read with him, he was knighted by Vernestra Rowe herself. So he's taken up the mantle of teaching younglings now.
That's amazing. And these are new younglings. Apparently, all of the citizens within the occlusion zone found out about Aricho and how there were these Jedi there, and they brought their children there to get them tested by the Jedi to see if they were fit. And I especially loved that even though there were some children that were not as strong in the Force, they still decided to train those kids anyways, because it's just as important to train in the smaller versions of the Force. It's so wonderful.
It is. A lot of these people's parents or guardians are also concerned about the fact that they know the Nihil historically have hunted Force sensitives. And now they know, there's Jedi here, and it's so, I don't know, it's just so wholesome to know that even in the midst of all that's happened, people still look at the Jedi as this like beacon of hope.
Mm-hmm.
And for the parents in these situations, it's hope that their children will not have the same fate as other Force sensitive children have the past couple of years with the Nihil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and we've got a Jedi Knight Yacek. I couldn't remember how to pronounce this. Yacek?
I don't know. Yacek? I'll probably go back and forth between the pronunciation of these.
Same. Everyone just get over it.
I know.
But yeah, Yacek Sparkburn also helps out with Imri. So yeah. And he yells out for him now because there's amazing news, which is that the storm wall has fallen. And I don't know how you're feeling about this. I just feel like it's a little casual. Every announcement of this we've gotten in a couple stories has felt casual. And I'm like,
I think the reason why it feels casual is because I haven't gotten an explanation as to why the storm wall has fallen.
Yes.
I'm so
And so it feels
confused.
like we're just glossing over that.
It must be in a book. It must be in the book.
The book.
Right?
That's the only one left. And then I was like, did we just completely miss a storyline? But no, it's got to be in Trials of the Jedi. Mm-hmm. But it feels weird to be reading this over and over and that it just, storm wall has fallen, period. But how? How though? I want to know how.
And no explanation.
No.
Which is kind of nice, right? Because of course Imri and others won't know the explanation as to why the storm wall has fallen.
We're experiencing it as if we're with them.
We are. I'm just personally struggling with this.
Yes. I also just really want to know on a personal level. Mm-hmm. So. And this also makes Imri feel a little weird because he chose to stay on Aricho when he had a chance to go back to Coruscant. And now the storm wall's fallen. This is a happy thing, obviously, and he's joyous over what this means for the galaxy. He's also afraid this means he's going to be told he has to come back to Coruscant.
Oh, definitely. He is living a life of peace. He's teaching kids the ways of the Force, and he's terrified of going back to Coruscant and learning to do, or not even learning, going back to battle again.
Yep. Oh, Imri.
Yeah, both Imri and Yacek head to the capital city of Parantha to meet with the newly appointed president. This is President Arena Sala, who is a green Twi'lek. So they meet in this repurposed hangar, and there's a bunch of other citizens there as well. And it seems everyone is super nervous about what this meeting is all about because President Sala is there. And she announces that the storm wall is indeed fallen. And not only that, there are Republic forces within the occlusion zone and they're after the Nihil. And it seems like hope is on the horizon.
Yes. And don't worry, they're repairing the comms. So maybe in the near future, they're going to be able to talk to people. And a lot of people that are currently living on Aricho are refugees. And so for those people who probably haven't spoken to their families, this thought of I might be able to actually see if my family's okay probably feels so good. And the mood is very celebratory and happy for 2 seconds.
And the ability to go home.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like they don't really have the ships on Aricho to go home, but if they can calm Coruscant or their friends and family from other planets, then they can get the help they need to go home.
Yes. Turns out, though, there's kind of a tight timeline here, right?
I know. What's up
Oh,
with these winter storms that overtake the half of the planet and it kind of flips to the other side? But
absolutely
apparently,
not.
these winter storms are 2 weeks out, and they either leave within this 2 weeks or they're going to be stranded for the next several months.
Yeah,
This is so crazy.
it is. But I do like that Aricho is offering, they're either going to help with that relocation if that's the choice, but for people who maybe want to stay there, they're going to offer a path to citizenship, which is great.
Oh,
So,
totally.
yeah.
Well, not so great is suddenly a ship crashes right outside of town. Yacek and Imri rush over to help.
That takes us into chapter 2, though, where we
Mhm.
go over with Zinni Greylark.
She's
My
so
heart
great.
always pitter patters a little when I hear the name Greylark.
Yes, me too.
And she's feeling bored because she is stuck at her family's compound in Coruscant while everyone else is doing exciting stuff because she knows half the Republic is out fighting Nihil or researching the Blight. And even though she's only 12 years old, she's previously had epic adventures and knows she's gotten the taste of adventure now.
Mhm.
And so sitting in Coruscant and being made to go to school with a droid feels very boring for her.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, we first met Zenny in the book Beware the Nameless by Zoraida Cordova. And she and her other friends, it was Jamil, Churro, Kildo, Tep Tep. They went on an adventure to go rescue Zenny's sister. And along the way, they managed to capture 3 nameless. So this is an intense adventure. This is not
For
just
children.
like, yes, they had is it Master Adopt? No. Who ended up passing away?
Oh, girl. You know how this game goes for me.
I
I'm
know.
just going
I'm
to
so
start naming
sorry.
people from
They
phase 2.
watched a master die in front of their
Yeah.
eyes, so lots
So
of
everyone's fine.
Of course. That's why Zenny wants to go back and adventure so much. She's like, this is great.
Oh, yeah. Instead of sitting with her droid for the lesson, she just takes off to head to the Jedi temple. And she's going to see Tep Tep.
Yay.
And I know, which is super cute. And I love that she goes into the lobby and Tep Tep is doing force cartwheels or something. Yeah.
I especially love that all the temple guards are just kind of watching in amusement. It's just so cute.
It really is.
But apparently Tep Tep is bored also, and she too wants to go into an adventure. This can only be great things for both of them.
For now, though, they've decided gossip and drama is where they're going to go, though, because there is a comms area. And Tep Tep was like, we can go listen in on the comms. So let's go see what's happening.
That's really cute. Yeah, they kind of sneak into the communications center, and there's this droid that runs the center called CD2, and apparently Tep Tep and this droid are best friends. So Tep Tep specifically asks for comms coming from Raya sector, and this relates to Zenny. Zenny's dad has disappeared and has been gone for 2 years, I believe. And the last time he was seen was in the Raya sector. Yeah. So she's really hopeful to find him one day, and Tep Tep knows this and wants to help.
Which is very nice of her. But CD2 says there are no messages from that sector because they don't have working comms. But then the droid is like, oh, I do get emergency beacon pings though. And apparently there's one from that sector from a ship called, I almost said Redondo whenever I was like,
the same thing.
Yep. And that it was headed for Aricho. And so Zenny gets really excited. I hope you're not getting your hopes up.
I know. So, of course, Zenny rushes to go tell her mom to get a search party started because it has to be her dad, right?
Oh, sweet angel.
Chapter 3. We're back with Yacek and Imri as they're rushing to help the people aboard the crashed ship. They open up the bay door and don't immediately find anyone, so they're looking around, but they do eventually find 3 unconscious individuals that are in the cockpit. So both of them help to rescue them, pull them out of the ship, and I guess the man is kind of still with it. I was really hoping that this was Zenny's dad. So this is where I was like, oh my god, this has to be Zenny's dad. We have connected the dots.
Because it's a middle grades novel. And it's like, well, there we go. There's our resolution for now. And then it wasn't. I did the same thing. Oh, wow, wow.
Yeah, apparently the man is Cisnero Agate, and he and others were helping people on this planet who were affected by this very strange illness. So they went to go find a working satellite when suddenly they were attacked. They have no idea what attacked them, but whatever it was trying to slice into their ship. Guys, these are scav droids. They're not new droids. Right? Why are you so confused?
I try to remind myself, though, that we have so much information.
And they explain the reason later, and I guess we can talk about it now. And the reason why they're so confused is because there should not be scav droids here, because the scav droids are placed within particular pockets of the storm wall border to help protect from people entering. But what we find out later is that because the storm wall is down, these scav droids are doing weird things.
Yep, it's gonna be a problem. Mm-hmm. It already is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Some of Aricho's some of Aricho's forces show up to help, so Imri and Yacek head back to town to speak with the president, who wants to meet with them. And I'm obsessed. This is not information anyone needs, but I thought of you too. I know she's gonna love this. They go to a tavern, called the Blue Tuca. Mm-hmm. It's basically a cat cafe.
It
but
is
a bar.
I love it.
I'm obsessed, and I really want Disney to make a Blue Tuca, please.
God. Oh, you could totally do this. It's like a tiki room, but with Tuca cats and a bar.
Yes. And then it wouldn't be so crowded at Oga's Cantina.
Oh, it would be. Oh, because we have another.
You'd have 2 bars.
Wow, I love this.
But they eat, and the president reveals that there's a lot of concern over this crash because it's not the first one that's happened. Apparently, this is the 3rd ship to crash since the storm wall went down.
Which was practically yesterday.
Yeah. And they all have these wild gouges in them. And she's like, it's got to be a new Nihil tactic. I want to figure out what's going on. So I don't know if she's just completely unaware of what scav droids are, or if she's just confused because the storm wall's down and they shouldn't be operating. I don't know which it is.
I don't know either. And I love that Yacek and Imri are like, great, well, this sounds like a problem for your security team. Why don't they do it? And the president goes, wait a minute, you guys are Jedi and you have experience fighting the Nihil. And not only that, she doesn't want to start a worldwide panic by telling everyone that there's an issue going on here.
She just told all these refugees they have 2 weeks to get back home if they want to leave. And so she's in this bad situation of all these people want to leave, but I don't want to send them out without knowing what might happen to them. Especially if there's something going on that's causing ships to crash. So she just wants them to figure it out and investigate. And that way they know these refugees can get off the planet safely.
So Imri and Yacek reluctantly agree. So President Saleh gives them a speeder along with maps to the locations of the other 2 crash sites and reports from the salvage crews. And the reason why there are reports from the salvage crews and not the actual crew that were aboard these ships is because there were no survivors. That is not ominous at all.
Dun, dun, dun.
What is happening here?
Oh, God. Well, we're not going to find out right now because we're going to chapter 4 and we're not there anymore. We're on Coruscant in Senator Greylark's office, which is a place of pure chaos.
More so than normal.
More so than normal. There's so much going on. And Zenny asks to see her mother, and we kind of get through this whole interaction. We're kind of seeing or getting the vibe that Zenny feels sort of forgotten about because her mom is trying to do all this stuff for the Republic. And so I feel bad for her.
She's just so busy with all these other things. And then Zenny's here saying, hey, I need this. Hey, I need this. And she just doesn't have the time to do both, be a senator and be a mom. She looks at the map location, right, of the coordinates where the distress call came from. And she goes, Aricho, well, that is so far from where your dad's last known location was. And there's no possibility that could be him. And pretty much dismisses the whole thing. I know, it isn't.
I get why she doesn't think it warrants a mission, but they're going to go anyway. Let's be so real.
Oh my God, I know. I think about Senator Greylark's perspective, and especially knowing about what's happening on Iriadu and how all of the RDC forces are heading straight towards there, and then they're also trying to evacuate planets at the same time. Like,
yep.
An earlier conversation she had was trying to figure out how many people can fit aboard a long beam with all of their items, and I can't even imagine the sheer panic and the stress of trying to organize and juggle all of these things. And then hear, oh, distress beacon, it might be your dad. I don't know.
It's just not something that she's got capacity for right now. But that's okay because Tep Tep and Zinni do.
Yeah, they're so bored. They need something to do. They need an adventure.
And they're going to start making a plan.
At the sweet shop, which apparently is where best plans are made for children. I like that. Well, in chapter 5, we're back with Imri and Yacek. They are preparing for their investigation, which includes making sure someone watches over the younglings. It's such a perfect detail. There's so many times where people just leave. Like, it's written, like, these characters leave. And you're like, what about the kids over here? And I love that this detail was added.
Yes, they're fine, everyone. It's...
Apparently the locations of the crash sites are really, really, really far away. I couldn't get a gauge of how far away these things were. They're far enough away that it might take days travel, day and a half day, unsure. But J6, the really odd, sassy droid that Avon had growing up. It was a nanny droid, right? Mm-hmm. That Avon had respect to be a little more sassier, had be more personable in a way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love it.
I know, it's so good.
Sure enough, there's deep gouges in both of these crash sites. And they get to the second wreckage after inspecting the first one, and Imri senses something is wrong. Mm-hmm. Is this where a nameless just pops out of one of these ships? But it's not.
Thankfully.
Thankfully. It's still something bad, but it's not nameless bad. A piece of the hull detaches and just comes spinning towards Yacek.
What? Yes, I think this is new scav droid behavior. Ooh. And maybe new scav droids altogether. I mean, we still have the mysterious gigantic scav droids that attached to, was the long beam geos?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So hopefully we find out what or who is creating these scav droids.
Yep. And it's weird to see one on a planet. Mm-hmm. Because I feel the only time we ever saw that is when they were being built.
Yes.
Other than that, they're always in space. So.
Mm-hmm. And especially weird that a scav droid is sitting on a ship, lying in wait, and then attacking humans specifically.
Yep. Interesting. So this is off to a great start.
I know. But don't worry, they're going to bring the pieces of the droid back to President Sala.
Yep. Oh, chapter 6.
Yay.
We get reunited with an old friend. It's Churro the Hutt, not Hutt.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see what he's up to, especially because he is basically disowned by the Hutts. And honestly, that's it. Even though it's sad and it's causing him a lot of anxiety, it is also what he wanted, because he wanted to be a scientist and a cute little vegetarian and not live a life of being in a mob family.
Oh, definitely. He does not agree with his family's sentiments at all. Yeah. And his whole family thinks he's dead for the most part, because that was better than being a traitor in their eyes. So
yikes.
Yeah. Yikes, indeed. I loved his little research project that he's working on. Yeah. It's so cute. I guess firstly, he is an intern to a well-renowned plant biologist named Professor Glenna Kipp. And his project is Aurora plant flower propagation. Interesting.
It is. And I guess it seems that it can be hybridized with other plants.
Yep.
And make them prolific, I guess, at breeding or whatever. I don't know the proper plant terms. And growing.
Yeah.
So this might be really cool for rare or endangered plants or plants that could be used as crops or materials that you'd like to make a lot of. If you could hybridize them, that would be super cool. And do you remember what they mentioned about it in hyperspace?
Yeah, there was a theory that they needed hyperspace travel in order to properly become viable because they are a hitchhike species. So they basically get into the ship's control system, or it was a control system, or the climate system, and they use that as a way to hitchhike from one planet to the next so that they can propagate.
Oh, that's so cool.
So cool. Yeah. Poor Churro though. He's like, yay, I can't wait to start my research. But he gets a incoming comm from Zenny. He's like, oh my god, I can't wait. I'm so glad to see you. But Zenny's crying and tears streaked face and it's like, oh my god, my dad is dead.
Have you ever had a call like that where you're like on FaceTime or something and you think it's going to be a fun conversation with your friend and you like make a joke to start out and then they just start crying and you're like, oh, the vibes are different than what I thought. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Just go ahead.
Yes. Churro really means well, but he is not very well equipped. And it's most likely because of his family trauma to handle this sort of empathy, sympathy thing. He definitely tries. He listens to her and goes, okay, well, that is sad. But here's my research, and then proceeds to talk about his research.
In fairness, it's a great distraction. It's not necessarily helping with the problem, but he can at least be like, look over here at this thing instead of your dead dad.
It does kind of work, though. Yeah, they end the call, and Professor Glenna Kipp walks in. Apparently, she's a Shawnee. And Shawnees are those tall, multicolored, feathered, reptilian humanoids with green skin. Very cool species. Yeah. You don't see them all together too often.
Yeah, I was trying to remember who the other Shawnee was that we've definitely had in the High Republic.
Her name... I might have to look this one up.
I know. I was like, it's not Diva, right?
Deva?
Diva Lompop?
Diva, yes, Lompop.
Was that her?
Mm-hmm. That is her. Good job.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I love this species. Super, super cool. Mm-hmm. And she is very excited because the storm wall is down.
Yay!
Woo! And that means they can proceed into more research on the project they're working on because they can actually go out into the field. This is basically like the boat engine was finally replaced. Mm-hmm. So now instead of sitting in the lab, we can actually go out and get the data that we need.
Yeah, Churro is also excited, but then Professor Kipp continues on to say that there's this investor who wants specifically the expanded growth research. And then also more specifically, which is even worse for poor Churro, is that they want to apply this research on the, what is it called? The Glocka route.
Yes.
In Aricho. No.
Yeah. That route is very particularly important to the Hutts. Mm-hmm. And he is very nervous that these investors or benefactors might be Hutts.
I'm sorry, but they're most likely a Hutt. If not, they definitely are. Right?
Right.
Who else would be that invested?
Yes. Marchion's got too many projects going on. I don't think he's taking up a new one. So.
He's not taking up Glocka root propagation research.
You never know with that man.
It's so true.
Oh,
he was inspired from all his blight research.
I'm gonna get into botany now.
No more Tuga cats, though. Get out of here. Well, in chapter 7, the name Yacek? Yacek?
Yacek,
right? Is that what we pronounced it before?
I've been saying Yacek. But
okay, Yacek. Okay. In chapter 7, Yacek and Imri researched the strange droid as much as they could before heading into town, and they're particularly concerned about what President Sala will do with the information, especially since she's so secretive about everything.
Yeah, but they send the droid off to with the security forces office, but when they get home they immediately feel something is wrong there, which is not great.
No You want to go home and take a nap or go to bed and not deal with scary things.
Yes.
Luckily, though, it's not super scary. It's someone who's hiding in the dark.
It's just a random man in the dark. Not scary at all.
He introduces himself as Captain Jonas Carper. He does apologize for hiding in the dark, but he says that he needed to sneak in because he doesn't want anybody to know that he's there. So here we are.
This is where we get the worst news. I mean, I know we've got the scab droid situation happening, but he's like, hey, so I'm really upset. We need your help. There's some sort of infection spreading across the planet. One that turns everything to ash.
I know. I was like, nope, absolutely not.
Yeah. It's pretty obviously the blight, right?
Oh, 100%. Even worse, though, is the survivors from the crash were fleeing a sickness that they called the Gray, which is clearly the blight. So to me, these crash survivors are the ones that brought the blight to Aricho, right?
I would assume so, yeah, which is really sad. And a couple things. President Saleh definitely knows about this because the security unit had been sent out to build a barricade around it because they don't know what it is. And they thought that was going to like keep it from spreading.
Okay.
Yeah. So she obviously knows about this and didn't mention it to the Jedi.
I hate that.
Interesting. Not only that, but the survivors of the latest crash had sent out a message before they crashed, which is odd because she told everyone the comms weren't working, but they were being repaired. But they're not working right now. So it seems weird.
So weird. And not only did they send a message out, but they also got a message in return. So the comms, the satellites were working at one point. What happened?
Oh, yeah. Something is not adding up. And I mean, obviously, Imri and Yacek are like, what the heck, man? And Yacek had heard a rumor months prior from the town that President Saleh was working with the Hutts to secure a trade deal for Glocka root. So this is not just a theoretical. This is something that even the people of Aricho know about because they had previously voted against it and didn't want to work with the Hutts. And apparently President Saleh was like, we're going to do that anyway, but secretly.
I hate that. And I also hate that President Saleh was building thousands of homes for people when she knew most of the people there were refugees who wanted to go back home. So this sounds like she's trying to keep everybody on planet.
Yeah.
I hate this.
I wonder what for. Could it possibly be for the capitalist regime?
Yeah.
They're wondering if she gave them this mission so that she could tell everyone it wasn't safe to leave Aricho. And if it's not safe to leave Aricho and they should stay, they can eventually become the labor she needs to produce Glocka root for this deal with the Hutt. So it's all
but they'll totally be paid
sense.
this time, right? It's fine.
Not a living wage, but they should just appreciate being paid.
Oh no. I hate that.
I just got a war flashback.
I know. Ugh. Well, in chapter 8, we move over to Churro as he's navigating his ship out of hyperspace near Aricho. They're not super close. The hyperspace lane that leads you to Aricho apparently is an hour's flight away, so they do have to travel a ways to get there. He's like, great, here we go. And unfortunately, the proximity alarms go off immediately. What could it be?
No idea.
Such a mystery.
It's the worst thing that could happen to Churro because Churro has anxiety, okay? And if there's anything that's going to cause anxiety, it's a bunch of scav droids that are meant to rip a ship apart. Coming for you right now.
Yeah, and Churro is like, these are definitely scav droids. Get out of here. It wasn't the proximity alarms that wake up Professor Kip, but it's his maneuvering away from the scav droids. And she's just like, what are you doing? Those are not scav droids. How do you know? Where's your research to prove that these are scav droids?
Oh my
Churro's just like, I just need to get away.
Churro's like, I can't write a scientific paper about this right now.
I love, though, that one thunks onto the ship and starts drilling into and ripping the ship to shreds, and Professor Kip is like, they must be scav droids after all, get out of here.
Oh, yeah. Professor Kip goes to change the shield to try and keep them off so they can get to Aricho, but it only works temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to figure out something to get them there or they're going to die.
Yeah. They are going through fuel very quickly. They don't even know if they were going to have enough fuel to even reach Aricho at the speed that they're going, and the fact that they're using so much fuel to deter the scav droids.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, well, they do some interesting shield thing. I think before they were the reverse polarity of the shield to get the scav droids to pop off. They tried that, didn't work, and so instead they're going to fluctuate the temperature of the shield to stun the scav droids. That works the best in the moment.
It does.
It allows them to safely careen towards the atmosphere of Aricho because their fuel is out, and also they're probably in shreds.
Yep. So Churro knows they're gonna crash. He is. This is acceptance time, Churro. So he calls out on the comms for help and hopes for the best. We're gonna go into chapter 9. Zenny gets a call while she's working on schoolwork, and it's Tap. And this is when they're like, let's go to the sweet shop. We've got to talk about our plans. And I'm personally excited to see what they're going to come up with.
Me too. But Tep Tep is acting very strange because she is whispering and she ends the comm immediately. And this sounds like an adventure is brewing. So instead of her speeder bike, she's going to grab the hopper.
Whoops.
Which is a ship that can do hyperspace travel, as opposed to a speeder, which cannot.
He is prepared for whatever is about to happen. And I mean, I'm sure Zenny was like, oh, well, this has to do with going to find my dad. But it's not.
No. But oddly, it's in the same location.
Wow. That worked out really well.
So convenient. Yeah, Tep Tep hands Zenny a, what did they call it? It was a
message cube.
A message cube. It's so different than, I know, I really like it too. Anyway, she plays the message and it's Churro and his distress call. So they're both like, oh, we have to go save Churro. So they're making their plan to go do that. But of course, Zenny's sister, Lexi, has been listening to the whole thing and goes, are you now? Do you really think you're going to go rescue Churro? And Mama's going to be okay with that? What is going on?
In my hopper?
Oh, that too. I forgot it was her ship.
This is such sister energy. I love it.
I know. The older sister, younger sister thing. Ugh.
Yes.
My sister took my things all the time.
They do explain the situation and are like, well, this is fine. If you don't want us to be unsupervised, you come. And then it's fine and everything's good. And they lay it on really thick.
They do.
That if the scav droids are attacking civilians, that's something the Republic would want to know about. So they should go investigate that for sure.
Oh, totally. It works. Lexi is like, okay, let's go on an adventure. And she does say that they'll tell their mom once they have left Coruscant. So I love that there's a sister adventure happening here. It's very cute.
Smart plans. Oh, chapter 10. We're back on Aricho, and a member of the president's security team goes out to Imri and Yacek's house to retrieve them for a very secretive reason that they are not sharing.
And they're really mean towards the Jedi, like they don't like them. That doesn't sound promising. But both Imri and Yacek are like, well, we were heading to go visit President Sala anyways, so they agreed to join the security person. When they reach the office, however, they are met by this attendant who tells them President Sala is missing.
Whoops.
Whoops indeed. Apparently, President Sala was supposed to tour this site, and it takes them a while to get the information about what this site is, but it's completely the site of the old Glockaroot factory that this crazy Nihil person was building She used all of these slaves to build it for her,
Yep.
and the Jedi fought to free the civilians and all of that. So it sucks that we find out that President Sala is there doing shady things with a shady person.
Yacek calls them out on it, though. Yeah, so you're definitely gonna do this Glockaroot stuff with the Hutts, aren't you? And she does admit, yes, we are, but it's not because we're wanting to work with slavers or whatever. It's because we're thinking about the planet's future and its fiscal needs. So this is just something that has to happen.
And they're working with the Hutts, who are much better than the Nihil.
Don't even get me started.
I know.
But yeah, it turns out she never returned from the tour. And she also didn't even tell anyone on her team who specifically she was meeting. Yeah. Secrets.
Imri and Yacek agreed to help find the president in exchange for answers to some questions they have. One of which is they need confirmation that the satellite was working, and the attendant pulls up her data pad, which apparently can show images of the satellite, and it's torn to shreds. So RIP satellite.
Yep. She does admit to them that the president was worried people were going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We've got the president being shady. We've obviously got scav droids tearing up the satellite and tearing up ships.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the blight.
Yeah. They ask her about the blight, and she just dismisses them as child stories.
What? She's lying.
Completely lying. Oh, no.
Yeah. It kind of works out, though, because they just had this weird, creepy situation happen at their house where there was a man in the dark, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And hey, he's on the security team. And so they make a deal that they'll work with the security team to track down the president. But what they're really wanting to do is get together with Captain Jonas and his coworkers to investigate the blight.
I love it. Chapter 11. We are back with Churro, who is also on Aricho. They are crashing. He does manage to gently crash. I don't really know what that means, but he does that.
Boop.
I know. So both Churro and Professor Kip hop out. Professor Kip announces that they are already late, and she rushes off. So Churro, poor thing, he can't move very fast. He's a giant slug.
No. Also, she's being really nonchalant about the fact that they just crashed onto a planet.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, okay, gotta get to our benefactor meeting.
Yeah.
To the point that he's annoyed by it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Churro is on the verge of a panic attack. He is not doing very well. And things get even worse because they're rushing off into the distance and then suddenly look up and go, wait a minute, what is that gray field up ahead? And they get closer, and sure enough, it's the blight.
Well, now she reacts because
thank God.
The blight basically makes their research useless.
Mm-hmm.
She knows what this means. The planet is done. All of the plants and everything are done. There's no point in them doing the Glockaroot stuff if the blight is here.
Yeah. So Professor Kip does a quick U-turn, rushes back to the ship, and tries to call for help, I guess.
It is nice. At first I was like, ooh, is she shady too? But she did say she wants to warn the residents to evacuate, but also call their benefactor to come pick them up. So I can't quite figure her out.
Maybe this is a Shawnee thing. They're all a little, ambiguous. Are you good? Are you bad? Like, what's going to happen? I don't know.
We'll leave it vague. I don't know.
Yeah. In chapter 12, Zenny and the crew also arrive on Aricho. However, Zenny is very disappointed Aricho is not living up to her expectations, her mental expectations of what this planet would look like. She's expecting a lush planet that's full of wild creatures and hard to get through. But she finds Aricho, which is essentially a travel destination with beaches and water.
I know this sounds amazing, but it's not amazing if you want to go have an adventure. It's amazing if you want to lay face down on a beach.
Mm-hmm. Zenny is not about that.
No, she's not. And also no one's answering. They're trying to call to be like, hey, can we land somewhere? And nobody. And as they fly in, they're like, I guess we'll just land where we can. And while they're doing that, Lexi spots the blight from the air.
No. And this is a massive patch too.
Yeah.
It sounds like they don't see a retaining wall of any sort. So this has to be a new patch of blight, right?
Oh, yeah. It's so bad. And I guess what the Republic and the Jedi expect of people is if they find the blight, they map it and get an idea of where it's at on the planet, how big it is. And of course, Zenny's like, I want to go find Churro / my dad.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to do this. It's the right thing to do. And it takes them more than an hour to go around the whole thing.
What? This thing is terrifying.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to evacuate now.
Yesterday?
Oh, yes. Yeah, they try to find that city because they need to tell everyone that they're all in danger. And that's when they look down and they notice a land speeder that's traveling very fast towards the blight. So they swoop down to go talk to whoever is driving that land speeder. Who could it be?
I thought it was going to be Imri and Yacek because I knew they were heading out to do stuff. But well, we'll find out in a second. But chapter 13, Imri and Yacek are at the site where President Sala had gone missing, and there's scorch marks on the ground and signs of a struggle. Obviously something weird happened here. And that is when a trio of speeders, which are the speeders that they had spotted, approach, and it's Captain Jonas and 2 other security personnel.
Yeah, they go and head over to go investigate the blight. Captain Jonas is completely shocked that it's a lot bigger than before. And I guess this is the first time both Imri and Yacek have interacted with the blight, so they're completely stunned by this lack of the force, and they're all like, oh my god, what is this? And that's when the trio from the Hopper come out and say, this is the blight. And I love the idea that Imri, Yacek, and all of these other characters turn around to see all these children just standing there randomly, like, what are you doing here?
And telling them about this mysterious thing they don't understand. Oh yeah, that's the blight. And not only that, but they know that Tep Tep's a Jedi youngling because she's wearing Jedi garb. And they don't recognize her. So you're not a youngling from our little group that we're teaching things. Why are you here?
I love that Tep Tep is like, yeah, we're from Coruscant.
They do they do explain why they're there, to find their lost friend, Churro the Hutt. And interesting enough, they get asked, well, did you get attacked by scab droids coming in? And they didn't. Very interesting. That seems odd given that everything else has been attacked.
I agree. I'm very curious to see why.
Same.
Well, the group decides to head back into town, grab something to eat at the Blue Tuca, and make a plan for the next course of action.
Ooh, a lot happens.
It did.
Yeah, it was a fun first half of the book.
I agree.
Yeah,
I like that we got some new characters, but not too many, so it wasn't super overwhelming. And I was excited to see Zenny again. I was really curious to see what she was up to, especially because she was so single-minded about finding her sister, but also her dad was in the back of her mind too, but she was really focused on finding Lexi. And now knowing that she has found Lexi, that of course she would hyper fixate on trying to find her dad too. And I just love that so much about her.
I do too. And I like that trio in general, the sisters and Tep Tep. It's such a fun trio. And they're all very ask for forgiveness, not permission.
I know.
And that they're all on that vibe of, well, we'll just go do our adventure and see what happens when we get back.
It's so good. It's so good. And I also love Churro. He's so fantastic.
Same. And I'm excited to see this group with Imri in particular. And I'm curious to see how that dynamic's going to be. It's going to be interesting.
Me too. I had this moment while reading this where I was like, oh, is this how we get the Hutts back to help rescue Iriadu? Because you know how Scarabda just randomly popped up with the whole Hutt fleet?
Interesting.
I know. I hope so, but I would also understand if they just decided on their own to be like, F you, Nihil.
Yeah, and again, it's not because they're good people. They just are so over the Nihil, but I like the thought that it connects to this story. That would be cool. Well, I guess we're going to see. Because our next episode will be part 2 of Valiant Vow. I'm really excited to see what else happens. So yeah, we'll see what happens. This is very fun. I love it. I like that. I love Tep's usual crew of Jedi that she's hanging out with, but it's kind of nice that she's on her own like adventure for this one with somebody else or different people.
Me too.
Yeah. Yay. Well, I think, do you have anything else you want to chitty chat about before we call it for this episode?
Do you have a spotlight vendor or whoever whatever
spotlight vendor? I do. I actually thought we should talk about a business that we saw this weekend at WonderCon and that both of us patronized. So her Instagram is Becca Shalom. And if you look her up, you're going to be able to get links to her shop. She does have an Etsy shop. The name is the Doodle Studio Store. But she's also got like a YouTube and a gallery of all her work. And I just remember, everyone, that last week we talked about someone who is like Anakin stuff. Love that. It's great. Becca is very heavy on Reylo.
I love it.
Love. And not just Reylo, she also does a lot of Adam Driver stuff. The sticker I got was not a Reylo thing, weirdly enough. It was an Adam Driver one. And so she has so much fun art of Rey and Ben and has told entire stories through her art about them. It's very fun. It's very whimsical. So if you're into that, great. And if you're not, she has a lot of other stuff too. She does amazing animal drawings. I don't know if you've seen her animal stuff.
I didn't. I think she just had the Reylo art and a couple other like Star Warsy things.
Yeah, she read the room and was like, these nerds are for sure gonna like this. But if you go onto her Instagram, you'll see amazing animal pictures as well. And she also does a couple other nerdy fandom drawings. It's not just Star Wars, not just Reylo, but she has a lot of stuff and it's really cool. And I just wanted to give her a shout out and thank her for the amazing stickers because they're all very niche and wonderful and unique and you will not find them anywhere else. So.
Oh, definitely. I especially loved the one sticker that I got that had Rey, Ahsoka, and Bo-Katan all standing together with their arms raised up in unison. I was just like,
I love that.
These are all my favorite characters. Like, what? So good.
I love it. So yeah, everyone go give her a visit. Becca Shalom on Instagram. And yeah, I think with that, that'll be it.
Okay.
All right. Well, goodbye from Geode.
Goodbye, Geode. Till next time.
Till next time. Thank you, everyone, for your support. We hope you'll subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts or on our YouTube channel, The Sacred Text, a Star Wars podcast.
Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, or Threads, The Sacred Text Podcast, or send us an email at thesacredtextpod@gmail.com.
And finally, if you would like to financially support the podcast, head over to buymeacoffee.com. You can either look up The Sacred Text Pod or it's / The Sacred Text Pod from buymeacoffee.com to donate today.
We'll see you for our next episode.
May the Force be with you.